Alright, let's talk about what it really takes to build a trading plan. It's not about finding one perfect signal, but about getting three key pieces to work together. For me, it always comes down to first, understanding the main trend. Second, finding a specific reason to enter. Most importantly, knowing how you're going to manage the trade with a stop loss and take profit. When you can get those three things lined up, you have a solid framework. So today, I'm going to show you how I use a couple of specific tools to build a clear process around that exact idea. So with that in mind, let's jump over to this TradingView chart and I can walk you through how I might apply the framework using a couple of tools. Take a look at here on this Bitcoin chart. You can see this red arrow that just popped up. For our purpose, let's use that as an example of potential sell signal. But look at what else is on the chart. See this red dashed line that appears above the candle? That could serve as a potential stop loss level. That gives you a clear line in the sand. If the price goes above that, the original idea might be invalid. Then if you look below the entry, you'll see these three horizontal lines. These can be used as different take profit zones. Maybe you take some profit at the first level, move your stop loss and let the rest run. The point is, you've got a visual plan for managing the trade from start to finish. You've got the entry, the wrong point, and the right points all laid out. If we look at some other spots on the same chart, here's a green arrow, which signals a potential buy. And again, it's not just the arrow. It comes with those suggested levels for a stop loss below and take profits above. It really helps to structure your thinking around the potential buy position. A bit later, another sell signal appears, giving you an idea for the short side. Now you might also notice these shaded bands wrapped around the price. This specific band is called volatility bands. That's another way you could approach trade management. Some traders, instead of using fixed dash lines, may use the dynamic bands of the volatility ribbon as a stop loss. They use the lower band as a dynamic stop loss for long trade or the upper band for a short trade. It's just another option for how to think about where your idea might be invalidated. Okay, so that covers the entry and the management part. But what about the first and maybe most important piece, the trend? How do we make sure we're not trying to swim upstream? For that, I like to use a completely separate tool, something I can glance at to get a read on the market's momentum. See this color ribbon down here at the bottom of the screen? This is what I use as my trend filter. I prefer to simplify and use this one for a single job, telling me if the overall momentum is bullish or bearish. And setting it up for this purpose is super simple. I just go into the indicator settings, and this is a key part of making any tool your own. And I change the fast link to 45. And the slow link to 200. The numbers aren't magic, they just align with how I like to view short-term and long-term momentum. Then to keep my chart clean, I make sure to turn off any signal plots, and all I want is the ribbon at the bottom, nice and clean, either green or red. So now we have two distinct components. One tool for the potential entry and trade management, and a second tool for our trend and momentum filter. So how do we put them together? Let's walk through a potential buy setup. The very first thing I look for is a green buy arrow on my chart, just like this example right here. But this is crucial. I don't just blindly act on that. My immediate next step is to look down. I glance down and at my ribbon filter. If the ribbon is green, it tells me that the broader momentum is on my side. It suggests that there's a strength behind this move. When I get that confirmation, the buy signal on the chart and the green ribbon below, that for me is a high potential setup. That's when I'd consider it a valid signal according to my plan. The entry could be at the open of the candle right after the signal appears. For the stop loss, a logic place to consider is the volatility band sitting right below the entry candle. And for a target, I could aim for one of those pre-plotted take profit levels provided by the indicator. And for sell trade, it's the exact same logic, just flip upside down. I'd wait for a red sell arrow to appear on the chart, and then I immediately check my filter. If the ribbon at the bottom is red, confirming the bearish momentum, then I'd consider that a valid sell setup. So you're probably wondering what these tools are. Let's break it down. The main indicator on the chart, the one giving the signals, the stop loss and take profit levels, is called the Flux Charts SFX algo. To get access to that one, I've put the direct link you'll need right down in the description and also in the pinned comment below. Following that link is how you can add it to your own TradingView setup. Now for the ribbon I'm using at the bottom as a momentum and trend filter, that's a separate indicator. It's called the optimized trend tracker. Remember, the goal here isn't about finding a perfect system, but about building a clear, repeatable process that makes sense to you.